Hi friends, this is the Amy Thompson Tarot, and I have a very special pick a card reading for you. This is based on a poll that was done on Facebook. We asked people to choose between 5 different tarot card readings that they wanted to get answers for, and the top one was understanding your life purpose. So this one is for my friends out on Facebook and also on YouTube, obviously, because this video is going to be on YouTube. And we're going to find out what is about your life purpose, okay? So how this works in a pick a card reading is we have 3 piles to choose from. This is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, and this is pile number 3. So you choose those, like you tune into the energy of the cards, you choose the one that feels like it resonates with you the most. Sometimes it's best to close your eyes, just kind of meditate for a moment, take a few deep breaths in and out. Clear anything in your space and in your thoughts, and then open your eyes and choose the one that feels right for you. Sometimes you just know instinctively, intuitively, and other times, like how I do it is I just close my eyes and I imagine the cards in front of me exactly as they're in the picture, and then I imagine them falling away, and whichever pile is actually there, still standing, still there, that's the pile it's for me. So however you choose to do it, you just choose a pile. Normally I put the time descriptions down in the timestamps down below. I'm going to try something different this time. I'm actually just going to record this video. I'm going to edit it and post it, and I'm not going to do the timestamps. I'm actually just going to see whether or not YouTube picks it up a little bit more than others or not. So let's just get into it. Okay, so group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. Okay, so if you chose group number 1, this is your reading for understanding your life purpose. Now this right here is the overall energy of the cards. Okay, so I picked 3 cards for here. I've got a couple more piles that I've got down here that are for you. And they're very different, distinct questions, okay? So first off, I can get from this, obviously, that you are meant to be a very powerful person, all right? You're meant to attract a lot of, a lot of attention, a lot of power. You're going to have a lot of followers or a lot of people who are interested in what you're doing, but you're also meant to, really have things thrive. So you're a leader of some sort, and in the public eye in some way, shape, or form. And you're not to be taken lightly, all right? You may not see this yet because you've got the Sun card, it's in reverse here. You've got the Power card, the B, that's number 28, and you've also got, I can follow the trails of good feeling thoughts. So this is a general reading. So for some of you, you may not have discovered your life purpose yet, and you're still kind of following your way around looking for it. But the thing is when you tune into it, and it's at the core of your heart center, okay? So it's going to be really coming from within. And when you tune into that and you come from within and you just follow what feels good for you, feels good for you, feels good for you, you're going to turn your sun, that energy, this is who you are, your natural essence. You're going to be tuning in to all the downloads that are going to really be able to have you thrive. So you've got some kind of strong leadership role, whatever it is. It could be corporate, it could be social media, you could be an entrepreneur, you could be a celebrity influencer, you could be in any of these kind of things. You could be even a spiritual leader of some sort, some kind of guru, some kind of expert, some kind of teacher of something. But whatever it is that you do, you're meant to have a lot of power, but you're supposed to be holding your power very responsibly. And for you to do the power, to have your power be very responsible, you have to be coming from your core. Because when you're coming from anything else, it's ego driven, it's not soul driven. And so there's a bit of danger in that. You know how in Spider-Man they say, with great power comes great responsibility? Well, pretty much that's it. So you have a big responsibility, and it's going to be coming from what actually you're called to thrive. And so, you're going to know it because it's going to feel really good for you, and you're going to be serving a purpose. And you're going to be getting, tuning into downloads and getting things, really regularly. There's a lot of yellow here, there's a lot of gold, there's a lot of green, and then there's some red, all right? There's also purple. So if you're thinking about the chakras, your solar plexus, that's the yellow. Okay, there's also some orange in here, your sacral. And yeah, and there's not a lot of of the red yet. So maybe you need to tune into like getting established, like a firm foundation first. The base, which would be your root chakra. Let's see what else there is coming up for you. So the next question that I asked was, what have you been through in the past? Because here's the thing, the past things that you've been through are going to help you form your view of life, your view of the world, what is going to be most important for you to make a difference in. So we're going to just pull over, turn over some of these cards. Perception. You have the Ten of Pentacles. And again, okay, so you have, I think that's the Sun in reverse as well. I'm just going to double check this. This is a different deck. Okay, so give me a second to find what I actually did with that. I have so many card decks around me right now that it's kind of impressive. Okay, there it is. I have all these card boxes sitting on top of each other. But I just want to double check I'm not going to be giving you like the wrong thing here. So that is 19. Yep, so it is the Sun. So you got 2 Sun cards in reverse, and that's really, really, you got to realize that out of like the 2 tarot card decks that I pulled, there's 78 cards in each of those. And I only pulled, for the entire reading, I pulled 1, 2, 3, 4 tarot cards out of, so 78 times 2, it's 140, 156. So out of 156 cards, you got the same, like you got a double, both in reverse. So that's like the odds of that are pretty rare. So this is telling me that, okay, this is general reading. So there are a couple messages that are coming through. So for some people, you were actually born into a fairly wealthy, fairly well-off family. Like you didn't have to suffer, you didn't have to struggle, you didn't have to have things, like you had a pretty decent life. You had people or friends or even like business associates and things, like people were loyal around you. There's a dog in here, and there's also a horse in here, a giraffe in there. I don't know if any of these animals are significant for you, but you really had things pretty solid and stable. Now this could be like your early childhood, but then there was something that wasn't necessarily coming out from you. It's like, even though you had like these decent things in your life, it's like you still had this like kind of like darkness within you, like these feelings that sometimes I'm thinking it's a feeling of inadequacy. Maybe it's because there were things around you that worked, but you were very perceptive to people, very perceptive to things in the world that weren't working. Maybe you looked at like maybe the wars and destruction and the chaos and violence, or you might have like seen like I'm seeing this image in like people being criminal and crooks and ripping people off, or like trying to just like understand the world, even though you could see stability from wherever you were. This could be like your life, or it could be like that you had an understanding that this was possible. Like I said, this is a general reading. So for most of you guys who are listening to this, you actually had a pretty decent, solid, like stable kind of foundation in the beginning. You know, there was love and respect, and you know, you might not have like been rich or anything, but you didn't really have to like struggle and suffer. And then there are others of you guys that you saw this as an opportunity and a possibility, but then something within you is like, I can't necessarily have that. Like I don't know how to make it all work when I've seen the world like this. Yeah, so there's something about you being very, very perceptive, and like you can tune in to people. Like there's something that you really notice. You're very observant. You've got a lot of like qualities. You can see the higher picture, the bigger picture of things, all right? I want to get more information on this, okay? So even though you had this, you didn't always follow your good feeling thoughts. You had some decent ones, but you kind of got stuck in ruts sometimes. And part of it was because like you saw some kind of corruption that you didn't necessarily want to take part in. You know, maybe you saw that some of the stability was built on a foundation that you didn't necessarily align with. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps, and that's usually like a really good sign that I'm onto what that is. So there were things that were in your early childhood, or even when you were growing up, or things that might be around you now still, that you just don't necessarily agree with. So having your purpose and your sun and your, like the pentacles, you got the 10 of pentacles, but like having all of this come from something that you don't believe kind of has you dim your light. Now you may be involved, like you may be still doing really well now. Like you might still, like I'm getting the impression that like for most of these people who are watching, most of you guys, you are actually doing pretty well right now. You have some things in your life that feel really good and they feel established, but there's something really like within you very deep that seems like it's missing. And that's because it's not coming from your soul purpose love light, okay? So I get that this is like an understanding your life purpose reading, and that's probably why you're watching this, but there's something about what you've observed in the world and putting the pieces together, like all of the spots on the giraffe. And yeah, so let's see what else you have. These cards here that I'm about to pull are like, what do you have? What do you have coming up? What's going to be happening in your future? What kinds of things do you have to look forward to? What else you need to know from spirit? So when all of this is done, we'll have a pretty good idea about where you're meant to go. And the power part, okay, whether you're a manager, a director, a leader, a creator, a YouTuber, like business person, like this here is only the beginning. You've got the power, the pentacles, you've got the perception, you have all of this, but what's missing is that like you're not tuned into who you really are. Like really, really from your core. Okay, so let's look at what's there. Okay. All right, well, the first card says that your happiness can be measured by your level of faith and love. So I'm getting from this card that you have had your heart broken in the past, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. Like it is a relationship of some sort, but it could be like not your typical relationship. It could be a work relationship. It could be a mother-parent or like a mother-father and child relationship. It could be a sibling relationship. And it could be like, you know, the love of your life kind of relationship. But I mean, you have had your heart crushed. And so for your, yeah, and a lot of you guys have already like thought, like you think you've healed from that and whatnot, but there's still some like painful things that you're holding on to from your past that you can see your happiness for your future actually comes from you actually resolving these things and having full faith that all of these good things are possible. What's missing from this is your faith that things are possible. I mean, you got the Sun card in reverse 2 times, right? And you've got the perception. So there's something about the fact that you understand logically that that's possible. Intuitively, you even know it's possible. But it's almost like you've seen too many things in your life for you to really trust and believe that that is for you. For you to be able to have that level of happiness and faith that you would like to have. Okay, so you got, when in doubt, I choose to see peace in reverse. Okay, this is like a confirmation, 100%. It goes right along with the 2 suns in reverse. And it's saying that the challenge comes in right now is that when you're in doubt, you don't see peace. It's like, you'd like to see peace, except for the moment that something throws off your inner, like, what's it called? Your groove. I'm just going to call it your groove. So when there's something that throws off your groove and you start to doubt things, it's like peace is the last thing that you see. You start to see all of these things like that are going wrong, and it shifts your perception. So your power and your purpose, part of it comes from you learning how to be peace in the midst of chaos, be peace in the midst of things not working, and still be able to see the beauty and abundance in everything. Like when somebody's not getting along with you, you can see the beauty and the power and the abundance and the magic and everything in them. It's like what you see here for like what's possible with the pentacles and with the sun, you can be that. You can see that in other people, and by you bringing that out and seeing that peace, see the prosperity, see the love, you're meant to bring that to the world. You are meant to bring the love instead of the conflict. You are meant to be the sun when you can't find the sun. You are meant to bring peace. Okay, and that peace that you bring is going to transform others, like transform the entire, like not just your universe, but it's like everybody else's too. Okay, yes. Yeah, you have been hurt in the past and you feel like you're still trapped in this sense of injustice that you see in the world. You are meant to bring justice, but the justice that you're meant to bring isn't like I'm right and you're wrong and, you know, we're going to fix everything. And, you know, it's not here to like, I don't know why the words that are beat people and blind people, I don't know why those words are coming to me, but it's not meant to hurt anybody. Okay, the justice that you're meant to see is actually like allowing karma to take its place and allowing all of that stuff to work itself out. It's for you to learn how to align yourself with peace and just let, like, it's not like you're letting everybody get away with everything, okay? Because that's not what it is. But it's like you've had a hard time forgiving, right? So the justice is actually you making peace with the past, you making peace with yourself, you making peace with others. It's like trusting and having faith that everyone has their own lessons and you're going to get yours as well as they're going to get theirs. And you've been through a lot of things, all right? And you have felt like it's not fair and that some people have to get their just dessert, I guess. The thing with that is that it's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you in this pattern, this repeat pattern where you see conflict instead of seeing peace. Therefore, it creates more. It takes away from you shining your light and you being your inner sunshine. All right, let's see what else you got. Okay, so this is really awesome. This card is telling you for you to discover and live your purpose, you need to slow down. It's slowing down and listening to your inner guidance. You already have, like, you're very perceptive and you can tune in with people, you can tune in with energies. But I think sometimes what happens is you get so wrapped up in what is happening around you that you're not tuning in with yourself. So you're not being able to be that peace because you haven't slowed down enough. You know, you're always looking to fix something. So your purpose is actually learning not to like fix and control. It's learning to like actually trust your own inner knowing, trust your instincts, trust your vibe, but really also allow people to step into their own power and their own trust. Because by you trying to control everything, you're creating a world where everybody feels either they have to be controlled or they have to control everybody else. And it just doesn't work, right? There's no space for people to like grow and develop in that. It's like a world of make wrong. Okay. All right. The next card is when I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. This is really great because you've got two sun cards in reverse. You've also got the when in doubt, I choose to see peace. And this is you saying, like, these cards are telling me that in the future, what you have to look forward to is you are going to slow down, start to listen to your guidance. You know, maybe meditate, maybe, you know what, sound therapy, sound healing, like the sound frequencies, like sound and light and colors, they all have frequencies. And, you know, by tuning into the right frequencies, you can really like align your chakra system and you can really like step into your own power, your own type of stability. It's not about other people and what they're doing. It's not about who has what or who had what or how things are run. You know, it's not about judging people for what they have or don't have, how they make their money or don't make their money. It's not about what somebody's doing in their life or their profession, what they're not doing, right? It's really about you aligning yourself, because you aligning yourself is going to allow other people to, right? You already know you're an extremely powerful person. Like, you really are. I mean, you can manifest things with ease. Again, I'm getting goosebumps there because you know you can manifest things. Sometimes it's great. You manifest really good things, and sometimes it's absolute chaos. Okay. So you are, your purpose is really mastering your emotions and, like mastering your emotions and tuning into your joy. Yeah. Because that in itself, like, you don't have a problem, like, you're not going to have a problem making money and doing things. Like, it's really just going to be very natural for you, like very natural. And people are going to follow you and pay attention to you. People are already paying attention to you. So if you're not having the results you want, if you're not having the right people following you, if you're having people who are causing you issues, or, you know, you're getting comments sometimes from people and whatnot, it's because you're not tuned into your own love light. Like, really get clear on who you are from the inside out, and the outside's going to transform. And you do not have to worry about your stability at all. You've got this. There you go. I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. These things from the past, you know, maybe not feeling worthy, the sons and the peace, that's in the past. Okay? You need to understand that you really are worthy of feeling good. Everything is within you. And notice this color here. In the very beginning, I said that there wasn't a lot of root, right? And the very last card is very much root. And it's even got some like plants. Sorry, I'm sitting here looking at them. I'm like, you know, like they're green and they grow. Okay, so yeah, it's even got some plants alongside it. So it's like you're really getting firmly rooted in who you are and what makes you feel good, and that you deserve to feel good. So you actually covered the entire chakra, like the entire color system inside this, and you're meant to be very powerful and very abundant, very clear, and you're meant to make a difference for people. So that is what I have for you, group number 1. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please give it a like. You know what? I would really like to grow this channel, and every like or comment or subscription or anything like that, it helps the algorithm. That's why I'm testing this right now to see whether or not, if I don't do like normally I have the timestamps and people just get to pick where the time is. I'm testing to see whether it makes a difference in the video for how many people actually watch it and stuff. So playing around with YouTube. If you guys have any ideas on YouTube and you know how to help me out with this, feel free to let me know. Also, just like, let me know what you thought of your reading. I would really appreciate to know what kind of power you have, what kind of career you're in. Like, that's kind of interesting for me too, because that one, it was very specific, saying that you're a powerful person and whatnot. So I'd like to see how that resonates with you, and how you may have had some challenges with, like, maybe your self-esteem or your deservingness or things like that. I'm curious to see, but either way, you've got an amazing purpose, an amazing outcome, and I'm interested in I'm interested in seeing how it all plays out. Okay, thanks for joining me. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right, if you chose group number 2, this is your reading. You have the Spider, the Dream Weaver. You got the Spider again, 2 cards in a row. Really crazy awesome. Co-creation, and you got I am the attractor of my every experience. What is so cool is that the spiders are like for creativity. It's like we live in the webs that we weave in our life, right? So we are creators, we are co-creators, we co-create with the universe, we co-create with other people, we co-create with energy, right? So I'm just going to explain how I'm doing these cards for this one, okay? So the first section, this is the overall general reading, like basically the overall feeling for the general reading. Then I've got 2 piles under here that I'm going to be giving for you. One of them is like, what have you gone through in your past, right? And the other one is like, what do you have to look forward to in your future, or what does Spirit want you to know about your future, or how does your purpose play out into your future? So this reading is all about understanding your life purpose. And you are a creator. That is absolutely obvious from this. And you're meant to create really big things, really sometimes intricate things that not everybody's going to understand. Okay, so you may be an artist, a poet, a musician. You may be like a crazy project enthusiast of some sort. You may be an inventor. And I don't know, I just said musician, but I've got singer coming to mind too. And some people might even be like graffiti artists or like graphic designers. You're very creative. You can pretty much take something and create something else out of it, no matter what it is. You just see something and you're like, I have an idea. So you guys are very, very idea driven, but not only that, it's like none of these cards were in verse. So it's like you know that you are meant to create something big, something wonderful, and maybe even several somethings, but there's like a knowing within you that's very, very powerful and strong, that you have observation skills where you can look at the world completely differently. If you look at this card here, okay, it says, I'm the attractor of my every experience. And there's like somebody's a silhouette of somebody's head turned sideways, but then there's like a sun that's coming out of where their head, like their brain would be, and the eyeballs are looking in the other direction. So it's like where people would look in one direction, you have the ability to like literally get like a 360 view of things, even probably up and down. So you can see things from multiple perspectives, and that is absolutely genius. Okay, you're a gifted problem solver. You manifest with ease. Okay, and you may even be somebody who like can share their ideas and have other people just take off with them. I'm going to just read this card on the other side, okay? It says, you are meant to live in an expansive, exhilarating, good-feeling experience. It was your plan when you made the decision to become focused in your physical body in this time-space reality. You were born knowing that you are a powerful being, that you are good, that you are the creator of your experience, and that the law of attraction, the essence of that which is likened to itself, is drawn, is the basis of the universe, and you knew it would serve you well. And so it has. Every single card you got for the general reading is about you being a creator. Okay? That's pretty amazing. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. All right, so what have you gone through in your past? Exploration. You got the Ace of Cups inverse. And you got the Four of Swords inverse. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just kind of like, I'm getting several messages for different people in here. So just let me tune into this for a second. Okay. So you have been a lot of places. You've explored a lot of things. You've explored different people. You really have a zest and a taste for life. You want to know more. You're curious. I mean, who could not be curious when you've got so many ideas and you see so many opportunities and so many possibilities? But here's the thing. Again, different messages for different people. So I'm going to send out a few messages and take what resonates for you and leave the rest. And some of this might resonate for every one of you guys, okay? So what you've been through in the past is that you often will get things started and not finish them. It will either be, and even with relationships and people, okay? So some of you guys might be in solid, committed relationships and whatnot, but you kind of always have a tendency to want to explore more, want to do things more, you know, maybe the grass is greener on the other side kind of thing. And there's nothing wrong with having those feelings and those thoughts, okay? But what happens in the project and the creative realm and whatnot is you start into things and you're really excited because you have these creative ideas, and then your creative ideas or your interest kind of fizzles. And so you're wanting to like reignite that passion often. And so, like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be for a relationship. For some people it is, some people it isn't. If you're in a long-term relationship, you can always reignite the passion, okay, by being creative and communicating with your partner, all right? If you're not in a relationship like that, sometimes you'll be in relationships that may not last because you may have a tendency to not look deep enough within people or not create things enough with people. Almost like you're expecting that, you're expecting them to start to bore you after a while. You know, you're expecting to lose interest, or that they'll lose interest, or that you'll have like a, you know, you really need a partner that's going to be able to co-create with you. And that's not just in love, it's in like work and in, you know, other things that you're doing, right? Because you need somebody who's going to be also creative and explorative, but you also need somebody who's very grounded. Because sometimes when there are a few people that are creative and exploring and whatnot, they want to go off in different directions. And sometimes they get distracted and never come back. So you need like that grounding as well. I know this is about your life purpose and whatnot, so we're going to get into that. But I wanted to acknowledge that because you are meant to explore, and you have explored a lot. And I'm going to read something about the wombat in a minute as well, because I don't read for all of the readings, but I'm actually like really called to for your reading, and I'm not quite sure why. Okay, so one of the other things that happens for you is that you tend to get like scattered. It's like you can have like, you go through these periods where you have to be really still and you have to gain your energy and your mental power and stuff. But what happens sometimes is that you get stuck in these like you'll be like really having a lot of momentum, and then you get stuck, and then you get really down on yourself, and you feel kind of like trapped in some way. Like you have to take some time to regain your mental power, regain that, like you got to withdraw. And a lot of your ideas and things come from those times that you do withdraw and you do retreat. So it's kind of like you're an amazing creator, but you've got to slow down sometimes. And so in the past, it looks like you've had the feeling of like succeeding and defeating and succeeding and defeating. You know, it's kind of like this, I don't know, it's like a wheel that's got like a bit of like it's like somebody kicked a bike wheel, maybe not kicked, they hit it with something. Or a bike wheel hit the curb, right? And then so it's like dented, and so when you're going around, it kind of like goes thump. And then you stay there for a minute more, and then you kind of get the momentum and you go thump. And so that's the feeling like I'm getting from that. All right, I'm going to read the Wombat Exploration. And that's number 12 from the Animal Kin Oracle deck. Okay, Earth. So this is great. So the key to balancing all of life's callings is to explore innovative solutions. And that's one of the things is like if you haven't nailed down how to make everything work yet, you definitely will. Because you are meant to be a massive creator, in which case you're going to have like systems that are going to take care of all of the things that you can't necessarily take care of. You know, all of the, like there's only so many things you can do, and then you have to have other people do things as well. So it's like you're going to be creating systems to make everything work for you. All right. The wombat is one of the world's largest burrowing animals. They excavate a burrow that becomes their daytime dwelling, only venturing out as the sun sets to eat grasses, leaves, and roots. Their often grand homes under the ground consist of up to 12 burrows, although they tend to use only a few as their more frequented dwellings. The wombat can be quite possessive of their burrow, so they tend to leave plenty of scent behind to mark their territory. They have a few predators in their natural habitat in Australia, meaning that they can wander and explore without many threats. They are robust and unaffected by cold climates, hence why they are often found in mountainous, snowy regions. A largely solitary animal, the wombat shows us that self-exploration, as well as real-world exploration, is essential to our soul's growth and development. They also teach us of the importance of having a beautiful home based on what we feel is ours and ours alone, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Unlike most marsupial mammals, the wombat has a reverse pouch to rear and store their young, allowing them to continue on with the things they enjoy, digging, burrowing, and uprooting things, with minimal hindrance or impact on the lives of those they love. Wombats are true masters of balancing duty and passion. So yeah, I have to give you so much credit, okay? So who you are in the world, you know, you really do take everything into consideration. And that's why you have these times where you're having to really step back, okay? You're very observant, and you always come up with new and innovative ideas. Sometimes I think you're a bit hard on yourself, because if your idea doesn't take off or go the way that you want it to, sometimes it can be very frustrating for you. And you sit there and you rack your brain and you go over and over and over again until you can figure out how to make things work. But yeah, you're very, very inventive. And yeah, and this card pile, you got a few extra cards from some other people. So anyways, I am going to see what you got for the other cards. So these cards here, just so you know, they are, you know, what's coming up for you. What do you need to know about your purpose? This is just the feeling of the past. And that some projects are not complete, and that's sad for you. And it's one of those things, you don't like to have incomplete projects, because that kind of eats away at your self-esteem. But you still know that you're a super creative person. And one of the things is you kind of have this bit of trust that even with these things, everything's going to work out. So I have to give you credit for that too. All right, and then what did I just say? I let go and allow the universe to do her thing. So yeah, you've known that for quite a while, right? And that's what makes you such a good creator, is that you're like, you get to a certain point and you're like, okay, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do now. And then you kind of move on to something else. But what you've noticed with that is by you releasing these things, other things open up for you. Okay, so you have a really high level of trust, and that's very, very good. Okay, the Hermit. There's a second card there that says that you need to withdraw. So this is great too. You do take enough alone time for yourself, and you make it a priority, which is really cool. The Hanged Man, another card about seeing things in different perspectives. Okay, so the Hanged Man is like sacrifice and letting go, and this one is also letting go. This one's in inverse. So sometimes, and it's right over top of the Four of Swords in inverse. Yeah, so you need to know when to let go. There are actually, this is about your purpose. Part of your purpose is actually discovering when it's time to let go, because there are some things that you hold on to that you are not meant to hold on to. You're meant to actually let them go. Some of these things are like projects and dreams that you feel like you have to be in control of, right? And there's nothing that says that you have to be in control of the projects and the dreams you create. For some people in this reading, it's like there are people in your life that you need to let go of. And it doesn't mean that you have to like kick them out of your life or like have any terrible things happen. But some of the people in your life, they don't necessarily resonate with what you need or what your higher purpose is calling for, okay? It doesn't mean you need to like go and break a bunch of relationships or, you know, burn a bunch of bridges or anything like that. But you need to know when it's time for you to step forward on your own path. And I'm getting from this reading, you actually have a pretty solid idea of things for your life purpose. Okay. Okay, so you got, when I live and act from a place of spiritual alignment, I can trust that everything is working out for me, even if I don't know when or how it will happen. It's interesting that you got this over top of the I let go and let the universe do her thing. So when I read cards to the left and the right, just to give you an example, is like the left would be indicating of some kind of thinking pattern that was in the past. Okay, so this indicates to me that you've done this before in the past. You know that it's really beneficial for you when you let go and let the universe do her thing. When you've come to some kind of, like, there are certain times when you just know it's time. Okay, this Hanged Man is saying that you need your part of your purpose is getting clear on when to pass things off. Okay. And this one here is in inverse. It's right over top of the I let go and allow the universe to do her thing. So when it's in inverse, there's a blockage. All right. So this is saying that there's a blockage in your spiritual alignment and trusting that everything is working out for you. And you don't know how it will happen. So where before, maybe when you were a kid, you used to like start things and then you'd kind of let it fizzle out and you'd move on to something else, but somehow none of it ever really bothered you. You'd just go back to it, or, you know, it would just be like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that one. You know, your mom would come and, or your dad would come and just clean it up, or, you know, there's so many different things that could be. But what's happening now is that you're not trusting that everything's working out for you, even though you were able to let go in the past. Okay, so now this is making more sense. So now it's saying that you're starting to take a bit more time to figure yourself out. Time is great, but trust is even better. Okay, so tuning into your own inner power and trusting that you have everything that it takes, everything that you need. That's part of your purpose. Okay, feeling good will bring me more, or far more, than whatever I thought I needed. And this is also awesome because it's right over top of the Hermit. So the Hermit is telling me that you take a lot of time for yourself to, quote unquote, figure things out. All right. And the one underneath is telling me that you're not as much focused on feeling good. You've been focused on figuring things out, making things work, having all your dreams, goals, projects come together, and that your emphasis should really be on feeling good. I mean, this is in inverse right now, but if you look at it from the Hermit, it's like that would be like growing roots and solid and stability. It's like having your dreams come alive by feeling good first. Like that is a priority for you. So knowing when to pass things off, knowing when to let things go, knowing when to walk away, knowing when to move in closer. You know, you are a massive creator. You can make anything that you want, and you need to trust that the world is actually there to assist you. It's like the world is there for you, and this is part of your purpose. Okay, great. And going back to the very beginning. No, that's not the one. Okay, maybe that was the other reading. Okay, anyways, I heal the habit of fear and I embrace the habit of love. This is super cool because you just got these two here. One is feeling good and the other one is about trust, right? So feeling good would be the love and then the trust. When there's fear, there's no trust at all. And by just healing that habit of fear and allowing yourself to really build a habit of love and those good feelings, that's going to have everything work. That's your answer, because when you're tuned in with those good feelings, you're going to be in alignment with your true self. When you're in alignment with your true self, it's like you are getting downloads for all of these good things. Like right off the bat, you know that at the essence, your core essence, you're an attractor. You're meant to just create and live and thrive and create more and create more. It sounds kind of obsessive when I say it like that, but it's not like I mean it that way. But it's like you have the most beautiful visions and you have the most beautiful ideas. And when they're coming from love, like not creating something because you're trying to fix something, not creating something because, you know, you're angry or whatever. Like when you're actually like replacing that fear with that love, the things that you create are naturally going to be giving you the answers, to allow the other things to come into place, to allow the people to come in, to allow the opportunities to show up. Yeah, you're going to have an absolute abundance of opportunities. I don't know if you're aware of how many opportunities there are for creators and artists, and like it doesn't have to be like an actual artist. There's so many different types of creators, like so many different types. Whatever it is that you do create, you have an abundance of opportunities. So if anybody ever told you otherwise, like just know there are so many of them. And you just need to allow yourself to let go of fear and trust. That's your life purpose, is to let go of fear so that you can continue to create and expand and explore. Create, expand, explore, repeat. Love, trust, create, expand, explore, repeat. Yeah, so that is your reading, group number 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like. Let me know in the comments, what kind of creator are you? Like, just tell me. Like, I thought of like 40 of them. I didn't say them all in this reading, but there are so many awesome creators, and I'm curious what you do. And if you ever need any collaborative people, I host a summit every quarter. It's called the Creative Collaboration Summit, and it's like an opportunity for people to get help and resources for their projects, dreams, and goals. So if that is of interest to you, it should be in the description box below, but the website is wheredreamsconnect.com. So wheredreamsconnect.com, and you can register for it. It's like speed dating for your dreams and goals and projects. So it would be awesome to have you there. Anyways, thanks so much, and I will see you in another reading. Don't mind my rolly chair, it's pretty loud. All right, if you chose group number 3, this is your reading. Okay, for understanding your life purpose. Okay, so I pulled, just so you guys know how this card pile works, and you got a ton of cards in your last section, all right? But I pulled 3 different piles. So this first one gives like an overall general idea of what this reading feel is, like the vibe. The second one is kind of a glimpse into things you've gone through in your past. And the third one is, you know, what do you need to know for your purpose and anything Spirit wants you to know for your future regarding your purpose, all right? So what I see in the very beginning for this is your purpose is exploring, like finding out what pleases you, learning about pleasure, learning about, you know, what's going to make you tick, finding out revelations, like really fine-tuning your own vibrational frequency so that you can have the life that you want. But it's not just for you. There's something like really pure and beautiful and vibrant and like soft and elegant. And there are some things that you need to discover about yourself that will allow you to tune into these parts of yourself, because some of you guys who are listening to this are like, what? That makes no sense. But first, it's going to make more sense as this reading goes on. And then second, it's that you're not like in this moment that you're listening to this. These cards are telling me that you're not actually like living that kind of purpose right now. It doesn't feel like that's where you are right now. Okay. These cards that are in reverse, there's a blockage, right? So first off, you've got the blue, right? And you've got the purple. And then, you've got these other ones here, the orange, yellow, red, and purple. So this here with these two inverse ones, it's like you've got the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakras. Very like it's just saying like there's a blockage between you really living that pleasureful, soft, serene, but like you want to live a life of clarity and of knowing, and there's like something very deep about you wanting to know your purpose. But it's for you. It's for you to expand, but it's not just for you. It's like you want to see it. You want to see it grow. You want to watch it. Like it's like when you tune into it for yourself, there's something that's going to come out that's very soft compared to other people's. But it's like the words quiet leadership would come to mind. Like leading people into the softer, more sensual parts of life kind of thing. I'm going to read more into this, okay? Because there are so many cards for your pile, and I'm just kind of getting a taste of it right now. But first, the law of attraction responds to my vibration. A belief is nothing more than a chronic pattern of thought, and you have the ability, if you try even a little bit, to begin a new pattern, to tell a new story, to achieve a different vibration, and to change your point of attraction. So the law of attraction is responding to your vibration, and you can easily change your vibrational point of attraction by visualizing the lifestyle you desire and holding your attention upon those images until you begin to feel relief, which will indicate that a true vibrational shift has occurred. Okay? So according to the cards right now, it's like you understand that. You really do. You understand that, you can pivot to feeling better. You understand that the universe is made up of different energies and, thoughts attract things. And you understand that there's a world around you that's being created by the thoughts you think, by the words you speak, by the feelings you have, right? So that's really, really great. And if you see this picture, it looks like a sun, for example, with the center of it being a face, and then all of the rays coming out are like projections of that face. Okay, so they stretch out different areas, and so all of them, they're all looking in the same direction, but it goes in a circle. So they kind of cover like all areas. They're looking in all different areas. But what you're aware of is that the thoughts that you think, they project outwards, right? And they see something else, right? So imagine each one of these thoughts that you have that you're projecting out. Like when you create something through your thoughts or your actions, your vibrations or whatever, it's like it changes your perception. Okay? So with each new experience, you have a new perception that comes with it. It's like life is like it's always changing. There's always something happening that's changing. And these cards are telling me that you're kind of like waiting for some kind of revelation. You're kind of like you're watching, you're observing your thoughts and your feelings, and you're wanting things to feel better. Okay? And you're in a space of like just waiting for like, I don't know, it's kind of like you're waiting for the punchline of a joke, but it's a different kind of feeling. Like you're waiting for something to manifest. You're waiting for things to take shape. You're waiting for all of the things that are promised to you from you feeling really good, or, there are different things. I'm going to go into this more because not everything's here. And if none of this makes sense to you yet, then you may want to choose another reading. If some of this or all of it has resonated, then stick with me, okay? Okay, so these are the things I want to know a bit about your past, what's going on there. And, okay. Got it. So you want to go back to the essence that you had when you were younger, the more innocent time. You know, when you cleared yourself regularly and you did really like, you felt a lot freer. Okay, so there's like this freedom and this innocent joy and this pureness that you really want to like connect to again. All right. So you got the 7 and the 8 of Wands. All right. But you got them both in inverse. So the 7 of Wands is courage and inner strength. And then you also got the 8 of Wands, which is sudden movement and change. Okay. So you have been through, and for some of you guys, it's just one. And for a few of you guys, it's many. All right. And a few of you guys, it's just a few. But you have had to use courage and inner strength to come through some situations that you've been. And a lot of people, it's going to be loss, like a loss of loved ones, loss of jobs, careers, loss of dreams, loss of relationships, loss of finances. There have been losses, and there are things that you've had to grieve. And you know, you had this like nice pure energy, and you know, really coming from love and pleasure and satisfaction and simple joy. Like there's if I could describe the feeling to you guys, it's like really like that, I don't know, it's just like an absolute, like a contentment, like this, it's like bliss, but not ecstasy, but it's like a really like, it's like a really happy feeling, like a really loving, happy feeling. And it's like you used to have that and connect with that a lot. And then something shifted, or it shifted several times for some people, and you've had to have sudden changes. It's like you lost stuff. You had, I mean, some of these things you're still not over. Okay. And that's why you're not allowing yourself to have the pleasure and have you're not getting the insights, you're not getting the downloads, you're not getting all of the things, because you're denying yourself the pleasure that you need to have to allow yourself to attract more and more good things. Okay. So I don't know what it is for you, whether there's something that you feel like self-punishment of some sort. And again, this reading is for discovering your purpose, understanding your life purpose. Okay. But this has to do with grief and loss of some sort, and stepping back into your like remembering what it was when life was wonderful. Because since you had these situations or these I almost said lies. Okay, so that might be relevant to some people. Maybe what you lost is the trust with certain people. Okay, or certain situations. But there's like a grieving process and things that you're holding on to, which is really like hindering you from tuning into that pure, innocent joy again. All right. And by pure, it's all different types of pleasures. Okay. It doesn't mean that it's just like, it's not one type of pleasure or another. It's like the pleasure that is pure of heart for you, the ones that are the most pleasing for you. Okay. So you're waiting for some kind of shift, for some kind of magic to happen, for some kind of spark or information, for some kind of something to make everything okay. Kind of like to give you permission that you can move on from this experience and know that you can go back to the way things were. Spirit is saying things are not going to go back to the way things were, because you've seen too much now. But it still can be as good as or better than it was. Okay, so Spirit is saying not to get attached to how, like having to have things the way that they were exactly, because everything changes through time, and that's not what's going to happen. And if you're so stuck on needing to have this revelation and have everything, magically appear for you, you're going to be waiting a little while. There are things that you need to do Abraham Hicks would say, focus on just doing the one thing, and that's getting back in the vortex and focusing on what feels good to you. Okay, I just thought I would throw that in there. But it's like, the message is like, don't hold your breath for this. Okay, I'm going to pull these cards. Like, you got so many cards in this next part, but I'm going to pull these cards because these are the cards that say, what do you need to do in your future? What's going to show up in your future? What do you have to look forward to for your purpose? It's all future related. Okay, so I'm just going to pull these. Okay, so the moment I begin to celebrate myself and focus on my successes is the moment I begin living. All right, so that is to the left. In order to awaken the world to the light, I must not be afraid to shine. Also to the left. When I honor my feelings, I find my power in powerless situations. Also to the left. I'll tell you what the left means in a minute. I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them. To the left. And then you got, my presence is in my power, in inverse. Okay, so when I read cards to the left, it's telling me that these are thinking patterns or thoughts that you had in the past, okay? So essentially, when you were in a space where everything was good and in the space of living your pleasure and your joy and really having that trust and faith, it was when you celebrated your success. And you focused on every little good thing in the moment. Like in the very moment. So if you were to pause this video right now and you were to ask yourself what successes you have right now, and you focus on the little things. You know, some people watching this, they're going to be like in still a pretty highly empowered space, and other people are going to be finding it like, wow, I had a hard time getting out of bed today. You know, depending on which situation you're in, it doesn't even matter. If you pause this video for like 30 seconds and you just sit there and celebrate your own success, and be proud of things that you're doing, you'll start to begin living a little more authentic for who you are and start to feel a little bit better. Also, in the past, you let the world see your light because you weren't afraid to shine. Lately, you've been a little more afraid to shine because something broke your trust, broke your confidence, or you might have lost someone or something. There's some kind of loss, like I said. And you're not in your power. You're not shining the way that you used to. Okay. And that's okay. Even this one here, it's in inverse. It says, my presence is my power. So there's places in life you're just not showing up. Maybe there are things you're doing or things you want to do. Maybe you want to be out there. Maybe you know that you have to work on these things or do things or communicate with people or whatever it is, but you're not showing up. And you just appearing is actually your power. That's what this card is saying. It's like, by you not appearing, that in itself is diminishing your power. Okay? So in the past, you also knew that you could change your patterns when you thought differently and you changed your mind about them. And you've been lately kind of holding on to, like I said before, something shifted in your world and then you kind of got stuck. So you've been holding on to thought patterns that don't serve you, right? But the good news is if you were to look at these thought patterns, you can shift the context for them. You can think differently about them. So, for example, this one, my presence is my power, okay? You might have thought in the past that you just had to show, that you couldn't show up. Hold on, let me rephrase that. So you may think that you don't want to show up because you don't feel powerful for something. But if you shift your context and you're like, wow, me even showing up at all, that is me regaining my power. That's pretty powerful. That in itself is a shift of your mind. So when you change your mind about the patterns that you have in your thoughts, you're going to reclaim your power. Okay? Also, when you honor your feelings, you'll find your power. And you used to do that. You know this. None of the things that I'm telling you right now, you don't know. Okay? So you may just be in a rut. You may just feel a little powerless against the things you're dealing with, or the fact that you're not living your purpose. Maybe you're questioning your purpose because you thought you knew it was one thing and then, you started second guessing. Okay? So all this is saying is that you knew before what these things were. And just because you had something shake you or shift you or whatnot does not mean that everything's changed. It might feel like everything's changed. It doesn't mean everything's changed. Yes, it's not going to go back to the exact way that it used to be, but at the base core of your essence and who you are and what you're meant to do and who you're meant to be and what you're meant to serve and all of that, it's like that is your innate gift in who you are. And that's not shining through because you're not showing up. Okay, so let's see what else there is. You got the Ace of Swords in inverse. Okay, so yeah, it's you've been blocked with your mental. You've just had some mental blockages. There's nothing wrong. Okay, like when it's in inverse, it's a blockage. When it's upright, it's like, you know, you're. First off, it depends what other cards are all around the different cards, but this is telling me that that you can shift that again. It's like this is your power. You got the Ace of Swords, and this is your power. So the truth and the mental clarity just hasn't been there. But if you shift that context and you just get that you getting out and being in communication with people and being with people in the world, it's like that is going to bring back your power. You're going to discover your clarity. You're going to have conversations with people that are going to make a difference for them and for you. It's going to be very natural. You don't have to force anything. It's just you have to show up. Okay? In stillness, I receive. That's the other thing. You've been blocked and not... Yeah, you know what? You just haven't been getting the messages that are meant for you because you've had things on your mind. Let's see what else there is. I feel my way into faith one step at a time. Okay, so your purpose, my dear, is very, very clear to me right now. You need, like, your purpose is for you to learn to have faith. Okay? Learn to have faith. Learn to trust the higher power. Learn to put yourself out there when you feel, you know, like, ask for help. Ask for help. When you're feeling powerless or you're feeling stopped or you're feeling like you can't be yourself, don't hide. Let people know that that's what's going on with you. It's like you are meant to receive really good things. Like you're meant to live pleasure. You're meant to live. So here's the thing. The general reading, I'm going to bring these cards back because these ones are the ones that this is based around. So you are meant to tune in to your higher power and to really learn to trust source. Trust your inner knowing, trust your inner guidance system, okay? Because, I mean, even at the very end, you've got a lot of these reversals, and look at the colors again, right? And it's bringing it all back. But it's also saying at the, like, this one's a root chakra card, like that red, but it's like, I feel my way into faith one step at a time, and it's in inverse, and it's like, you're not feeling your way in, you're thinking your way. And because you're thinking so much and not actually like allowing yourself to feel one step at a time, like just trusting the process. What's the next best thing for me? What's the next best thing for me? Like tuning in and listening to those quiet answers. You know, you're blocked in several areas, but what's really great about it is like you're meant to be somebody who is very wise, who can tune in to the energy and the laws and the spiritual aspects and the things that are like the simple joys and pleasures that make life great. You know, things that things that people seek out, that wisdom. You're meant to live these like inner truths that people often are so busy that they don't get. And you get them. You get them. You just haven't been getting them lately. Okay? So your purpose is to actually like tune into this inner knowing and this power that you have and realize the simple joys and the pleasures are all around you and within you. I'm also getting for you to take a walk in nature. Okay? Get outside, enjoy some sunshine. And what I notice also is there's not a lot of green in this reading. I'm going to see what this card is. Yay, there's green. There's green. There's a little bit there too. But and the end of your reading is not an inverse card. And just so you know, inverse cards are not necessarily bad at all. Okay, so I really want you to get that too. It's helping you to see where the energy is pointed, okay, and what's going on with it. So here you got the end of your reading. You got, I let an inner sense of quiet multiply each day as I strengthen my faith in love and the universe. This ties in with everything else, right? So first off, it was saying that you were not taking that time to really be in that space. You might have like taken time to step back, but you weren't really tuning into your inner knowing and your higher self. So this is letting me know that you really are, and it's multiplying each day. So that inner sense of quiet multiplies each day. So you can quickly gain momentum, having your faith in love and the universe to allow yourself to tune into the answers. You'll be able to get the answers and have the pleasure and the revelations that you're seeking. Okay? You know what? And I'm getting that you're not meant to be some kind of like there are some people when I'm doing their readings and they're meant to be like huge and out in the public and out in the limelight and all of that. And for you, it's like you're meant to kind of really tune in and live like a wise, like I'm thinking like a wise sage or something, like yeah, like it doesn't necessarily, yeah, you know, a more simple life, a more simple pleasure. You're meant to kind of calm the world down, but in a really good way, and kind of leading by example. It's like people are just going to be happy to be in your presence. You don't need to do much. You just need to tune in and listen to the answers you're getting, and that those answers are going to tell you exactly what you need to do and who you need to connect with and what you need to do for your pleasure. And, you know, it's like a simple unfolding. And that may be the thing that you struggle with the most, is tuning into that inner knowing. But you're going to be getting that stronger and stronger every day, and you will become happier and happier every day. And that is going to be an example for other people. And then all you have to do when you are going anywhere is you just have to show up. Because when you're showing up and you've been tuning into your inner knowing and your inner guidance system, you're naturally going to be bringing the right answers and the right perspective. And you don't have to like second, triple, quadruple guess yourself for anything. You can actually just be yourself in that moment, and you can celebrate yourself, and you can live in your light, and you can shine because you're tuned in to who you are and what you really want, and things are going to be golden. So, yeah, I love that. That sounds so zen. That sounds so amazing to me. I absolutely love your reading, group number 3. Please, if you liked your reading, give it a like. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this reading, if it resonated with you, if so, how and why. And yeah, join me for another video too. I would love to see you again. Okay, take care.